Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Comment allez-vous? Another good opportunity to trade some Forex. Stock market slightly up. VIX is slightly down. Yield on the 10-year T-note 2.8%. What a strange, weird, twisted world we live in, huh? Let's go. Yeah, good morning. Yeah, you know, the 10-year T-note approaching 2%. It's just, wow, that's crazy. Craziness. I mean, that's really crazy. Wow. Just amazing. I was so relieved when it went back over 3% a year ago. So, anyways. My name is Wayne McDonald. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Thank you very much for being here at today's webinar. Please ask questions. Please get involved. Please take notes. And I think over time, you will get to see sort of how to thread together trade plans. And these trade plans, as you get better and better and better at analyzing opportunity and managing risk, will help you gain the confidence and the experience and the skills that you need to trade successfully. And so when you decide to trade real money, trading Forex, you will choose
more comments from the Mexico Foreign
Traders Way as your prime broker.
The main focus of the negotiations is immigration.
Sorry about that. So when you are ready to trade real money, we hope that you pay it back by trading with Traders Way. You can have an ECN account, you can have a variable spread account, you can have a fixed spread account. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So let's start with the Aussie. Well, this is where we left off, so I got to get my stupid pen going again. Hang on. At least I put it here. Oops. By the way, I sat right over there. I sat right about, where's my trend? I guess I was right here. The medical school was here. The law school was here. Business school was here. And our area was here. Coolio. All right, move on with it. Ciao. What happened? All right, let's get back. Okay. All right, so anyways, I just wanted to wrap up where we left off. I don't really like this month's setup. It's too late in the month, but if you're going to try it, because we never know, if you're going to try it, it's the right price, both weekly and monthly, so you would look for a reversal pattern. So maybe when setting up. I don't know, but like I said, I don't like the fact that Friday is way far away. But anyways. All right, so we got to check out Aussie. Do I have a scan? Oh, there we go. Scan Aussie. All right. Aussie. Look at this volatility here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow, I suppose we should throw that in. And wow, craziness. Crazy. But the funny thing is, even after all that, except for the last 45 minutes, the Aussie's been stronger than the euro. Pretty amazing. So a lot of Aussie weakness here, a lot of weakness here. Aussie strength for a bit. Hello, can we go? Yeah, Alex. Is anyone else having sound problems? I haven't touched anything. All right, good. So very little movement against the Aussie here, as far as euro. Just for fun, I'd like to throw a regression on there and try to include some of that volatility was in there. So we'll throw that in there. I'm going to measure from this point to that point. Okay, so still pretty down. Okay, and then using this tool, you can see there's a pivot in here. And does it look like the market is using that pivot? It's not extremely overbought, but it looks like they're kicking off that pivot. So I don't know if that's fool's gold. I don't know if the market's lulling you into a trap, but somebody's trying this. Don't you think? And you can see that the linear regression is going through these lines, so it's sort of skipping through. Any reason why I'm on the you don't like the 15-minute chart? Well, yeah, I guess I have to say it. I just assume everybody knows, and that's, bad coach. As we talked about over the last, 3 months, the RBA was talking about cutting interest rates. We assumed they were going to cut interest rates as of like 3 weeks ago when we talked about it. So yesterday, or tonight or today, depending on where you live, they cut interest rates. So I'm basically looking at this from how the world changed today. Not this week, not this month. So I'm isolating the change. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get distracted when I get home from trips, and I haven't fully unpacked, and I haven't shaved. I'm a mess. My office is a mess. I don't know if you can. I guess you can't really tell. All you can tell is my computers don't look like they're running well. My old machine is here. My new machine is over there. So I started that project. So it can run 6 4K screens. It had to be completely custom built. It's not an easy it's not an easy task to do to run 6 4K screens. So I'm rebuilding that, and then I'm going to rip down these other 1080p screens and get rid of them and put in a couple of more 4Ks. I might put a 4K here. So interesting anyways. Yeah, well, Jason, I spend most of my time helping you plan. If I were trading, I don't trade on a 4-hour chart. I plan on a 4-hour chart. That's part of, the 4-hour gets you strategy. So most people that trade like for their yellow Lamborghini, they're all tactics. They have no strategy. That's why it'll fail. Okay. Actually, Jason says send the 1080p's. It was funny. I went to the garbage dump for recycling, and it was 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080. I'm not joking. 1080, 1080, 1080, 1080. So I threw out these 12 1080 screens, and then whoop. The part that made me saddest was the last one, and that was the array. That was my first array for holding 6 screens and stuff. So anyways, it was funny, but it was all recycled. But anyways, I start on the 4 hour for strategy. So in my limited time with you, I get 1 out of 24 hours each day with you. So if I was all tactics, I would say, okay, in an hour and a half, there might be a selling opportunity. Well, there's a good waste of our time, right? So in these webinars, I spend most of the time focusing on strategy. Okay. Right? So if you can get the strategy right, the tactics, especially if you've like taken the training courses or read the book or whatever, or just hung out with me for years, the tactics are actually the easiest part. If you get the strategy right, you get paid more money. If you get the strategy not right, you probably still make money if your tactics are good. You won't make a lot of money and you'll be inconsistent, but you'll say, well, why am I not doing as well? Why am I not as consistent as usual? Why am I not as profitable as usual? Your strategy isn't correct. That's all. But honestly, if you think about it, let's simplify things. If you're at resistance, should you buy or should you sell? Well, you should sell. Oh, okay, there you go. So, right, that part should be fairly easy. Right? And once again, if you don't know how to trade tactically, you don't know, moving average crossovers, candlestick patterns, pivot points, then you simply need to take training. That's why we've made them available at FX Bootcamp. But once you know all this stuff, trading it's never easy. But when you put together the right sort of trading skills, the strategy and tactic part, and overlap it with solid education, what happens is all of a sudden it feels like there's a window or maybe even a sigh of relief where you still need to practice trading, but all of a sudden it's almost like you understand, or you can feel you can understand, or you can almost touch that. But it doesn't seem elusive anymore. Where probably in the past you were like, man, I can't figure this out. Maybe my broker's trading against me, that kind of stuff. Right? Yeah, Joust is simple, but it's not easy. Right. And that's why it takes a life, you treat it like any other skill, right? But you can't do it without a background of education. So anyways, what I was getting at is tactically, there's something interesting going on here. That's important if you're a bear, okay? But the odd part of this is the odd. Wayne, what indicator is the best for use of pivot points? Oh, well, thank you, Sniper. I forgot to mention. In the description below the video, it says download my chart templates for free. Use the indicators I give you for free. How about that? Baby doll, have I ever used the 200 and the 400? Well, the 200, yes. 400, no. And I'm wondering what time frame you would want to use a 400. Most likely you're using a 400, and you'll find if you play around with the moving averages, like 833 or something. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144, 233, 366. Somewhere up there, like in the high 800s, let's say 888, it'll start to look like it's working. But if you do the math, you'll find out you're just playing around with a different moving average on a higher time frame. You see what I mean? Oscar, we're decades away from that, so don't worry about it. Just you have so many other things to worry about. Don't worry about that. Okay. So anyways, this you would assume would be weak, and you would assume euro is heading up, but the technical the technicals here are in the way. Okay? So there are bears here working their way down. All right, cool. Clear. Okay, so that's interesting, right? Aussie versus CAD. Well, Aussie isn't crashing now, is it? Aussie versus US dollar. Aussie's actually going up. Crazy, right? Is it crazy? What's the monthly trade plan if you're a bull? Swing traders are doing this if they're bullish. Now, if you want to be a bear, it's actually setting up for you. A bearish trade plan should probably happen here. Okay? So look around your weekly R3, monthly M3. Weekly R3, daily M3 for a sell. So if you believe Aussie dollar should fall versus the US dollar, then what you want to look for is, first of all, get off the 4 hour. Okay, that's the strategy now. So let me just make sure you're following. If you're a bear on this pair and you're looking to sell, okay, your price is right here to consider. There's this and there's that. So you're in your price zone and you say, aha, now maybe I can sell because I'm already a bear. Okay? And just for fun, you do things like you look for resistance. So whatever, you're doing your job, easy peasy. Okay, so now you drop into your 15-minute chart. And now you're already bear, and you can't be a bear unless you're at resistance. But on the 4 hour, you found the resistance. Do you sell? No, it gives you permission to set up a tactical entry. Okay? So here's our price, and it could go up a little higher. In fact, I kind of actually want it to go a little higher, but sometimes I don't have that luxury, especially in this short webinar. But what would we like to see up there in the red squiggly lines? Well, we would like to see a change in trend. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 down, down, buy. See how hard Forex is? Up, 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 down, down, buy. Up, 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 up. There's that resistance we knew about yesterday. And, well, since the first of the month. And even based on price action from like 3 weeks ago, we know that this gray area, or this, well, it's purplish, this violet area, right, is resistance. So we know it. So how does price behave near resistance? Well, not near resistance. Up, 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 down, down, buy. 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 Up, 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 down, 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 down. Up, 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 down, 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 down. Up, 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 up. Well, isn't it supposed to behave that way around resistance? I mean, that's not a shock, right? You're like, well, yeah, it's up near resistance. The market's trying to figure out what to do. It's really disappointing we went through this pink area. And what does the pink area actually tell you to do? Take your money and run. So you could actually, in this move here, exited the market and been totally fine. And you probably would have if you noticed that there's a monthly just above you. Depends on how aggressive you are, all that kind of stuff. So now what's the next part of the play? You need a reversal pattern. Now, again, I'd prefer it to go up a little more and then come down, but whatever. What are we looking for? How about lower right? Or we could look for you could look for you could look for all kinds of things. You could even just look for a 2155 cross. Now that's straight out of my book, right, that I wrote 12 years ago. Because to get this 21 to cross below the 55, you're going to need to get to the 200, baby doll, the green lines of 200, and then it's going to come back up, and then it's going to come back down. Meanwhile, right around here, you're going to get a 21.55 cross down. Oh, snap! So, like, it doesn't really matter what you're looking for. That's the wonderful thing about trading. You're just simply looking for a reversal pattern, any reversal pattern, at the key level of resistance. If this wasn't a key level of resistance up here, I wouldn't give two hoots about almost anything. Okay. So Australia cuts interest rates and is still relatively strong. It's pretty amazing, right? Yeah, Jason, buy the book, take a course, but that knowledge has been out there for about 15 years. Where you been, buddy? Right? Time to hop on the clue train. Beep, 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 beep. Like, I'd be mad, like, oh my God, thank goodness I have that information, but, you know, imagine all the other stuff that's out there too, right? Oh, of course, RBA always signals, Alex, right? It always signals. And it also shows you that what you learn in the textbooks isn't necessarily true. Oh, you got the book, right on. Well, notice that it's called Strategic and Tactical Forex Trading, right? Strategy than tactics, so. But right on. Got the book. Okay. Did anyone miss this kind of stuff? Up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 down, down, buy, up, 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 down, down, buy, up, up, up. Notice that it's a perfect swing. It's perfect. Perfect. Juicy. Perfect. Okay? And then go back even farther. Boop, boop. Look at the front run. Oh, oh, oh. The problem is you may not have been bullish on Aussie. Oh, I get that. But if you were, this was set up for you on a silver platter. May I please remind you to give a thumb up for the video, please? May I be so bold as to actually ask? That's all. Just go like this and go click, thumbs up. That's all. Please. Okay, so now what other information do we have if you're a bear to be looking for? Well, your perfect entry for a bear on a monthly basis is right here. It's one of the reasons why I marked this purplish area as a place to sell. That's why I said I'd prefer it go a little bit higher and then drop. So now bearish perfect trades kind of look like this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? And this would be bad news. For Aussie versus US dollar to be going up is actually really good news. But we don't really have that in the data right now. And remember, I believe the market is just, it's not imploding, it's letting out some hot air because it was so stretched out. But now we want to go into summer and there's not many people playing and all that kind of stuff. So the market is just kind of calming down and getting quiet, and it's contracting like a cooling sun. Quasar! No quasar. Just it's cooling off. It's contracting a little bit because we're putting less energy. By energy, I mean money. There's more money coming out of the market than going in, I think. I haven't actually tracked that, but that's how I think of it. And then we're going to go through this cool period of, 12 weeks of trading. And then it's going to go again around September, October. So I just think all of this is relatively normal. But that bond move to get the 10-year T-note to 3.1 that's very concerning. Okay. Yeah, look at that, right off the pivot. Gone, baby, gone. And there's sort of that 5A cross we were talking about too. 2155 cross right here. So technically it's bearish on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, Cash, pretty scary. But just remember, I think people are just sort of in panic mode. Also, some high yield stuff is in trouble. Like, what's going on in South Africa? South Africa just announced a negative GDP. Like, what the heck? Really? Breakfast is done. All right. So anyways, very interesting stuff. And remember, not what the textbooks would tell you. Okay. Yeah, we can move over to gold. Yeah, I don't mind that. Gold. We just have it hanging out here, so I'm looking for a reversal pattern in here. I have another one right here, RJ. Why, do you want one? See? Unopened, ready for later. Anything for you, Ronnie? So anyways, let's go back to here. As I explained yesterday, I'm looking for some sort of reversal in here. Okay. Probably set up this week. I'll probably trade it Friday or Monday. Hopefully you can see it, the resistance. Drop into a smaller time frame. Now, oops, to look for the entry. Okay. Look how difficult gold has been on a 15-minute chart. I'd have to get into even a smaller time frame. This is called Ride the 21. Remember, as long as price is above the 21, you're bullish and aggressive. And then once it drops, you're no longer bullish and aggressive, and the 55's in control. What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to see? Or what do you expect to see happen next once the 55's in control? What's in the book, guys? When the 21 is in control, you're bullish and aggressive. And when the 55's in control, you expect a double top. Oh, snap! If I can only predict the future, life would be so easy. No, Alejandro, double top. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay. This is also a plausible entry too if you're trading technically. I think this will work out if I do this. Okay, see the 786? That would also set up you can do like the reverse fibs. I don't know if you guys do this. It's an old school tactic. Okay, you can do the reverse fibs. Right, sell up the 618. I don't really do that, but you could. You can see there's a pivot in here, so that makes a ton of sense. You can see there's a roll reversal in here. I mean, there's a lot going on to make that a pretty easy trade if you're already a bear. It's already, right? $618 predicts a 1382. I mean, let me go back and do that again. Okay, 618 predicts a 1382, which gets us to about there. Okay. Right, you see this? I mean, it's all very, very straightforward. Nothing complicated. You're selling multiple resistance zones, but I identified it yesterday. I used the weekly M4, but we talked about the monthly just above. So it's really a confluence, right? So we got up here between the weekly, monthly, weekly, monthly. This is really just the weekly, right, zone. Oh, we're coming up to the 1382 now. Very nice. And then once it makes a lower low, you should assume a lower high, lower low. Okay. This almost looks like the old man easing into a hot bath, doesn't it? I believe that chart looks like this, where it comes down and then it comes way back up and then it really takes off. I always try to give imperfect examples. Okay, so typically, like if I were trying to make a perfect textbook, I would say, let's say it goes down to the 200, and then I would say this level here is resistance, and it would come back here and then come back down, right? That'd be the perfect. But what I actually put in my book is it comes down, and then it comes way back up, and then it resets, and that happens. Any questions about gold here? Yep, Big Perm FX says hit the monthly early. Look for a reversal. It's really a counter trend back into the central. Yep, all of that works for me. Absolutely. It's not necessarily selling, Alex. So what else would it be if it's not people selling? Let's say nobody sells. Can we still get red candles? That's right, profit taking. So let's say I bought in here. Okay, let's do that. So I put my stop low, let's say. It goes up, 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 down, down, buy, makes a new higher high, so I move this stop here. Up, 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 down, down, right? Buy, up, 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 new higher high, move my stop here. Up, 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 down, down, right? Up, 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 down, down, up, 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 up. Oh, new higher high, move my stop here. Now what? So what happens if it does this? Okay. So this can come down simply by bulls getting up. That's it. Nobody has to sell it. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, so I'm a little bummed about this, but this isn't this. We're still in a buy zone. This is last chance for oil to go up, but with central banks cutting interest rates, that doesn't feel like it wants to do it. But don't matter none. If you want to position yourself as a bull on oil on the long run, okay? Oh, I don't know, Highlander. Okay, if you want to position yourself as a bull, this is the price you want to consider. Not down here, right? That price. So if it does reverse, you got to take a shot. Now, clearly this is not an uptrend, so you got to manage it carefully and tiptoe into it, and do whatever strategy you need to conservatively get in there, maybe smaller lot sizes and all that kind of stuff. But that's the price you want. Doesn't mean you're going to get it, but that is the price you want. Okay. Notice like how I teach you guys to trade ranges. Okay. One of the things I teach you is it will stay in a range forever and ever 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 until it breaks. But when it breaks, wait for the pullback. Break, pullback, gone. Nice. Also, another thing I teach you is to look for 100% retracements. Okay. That is not good, not good, okay. Lots of little things going on there. Yeah, if you're still a bear, well, you have to set up a bearish trade plan, right? So let's try that. First of all, you need to recognize that that's a very bullish price, and you need to be careful. But you would look for that. Okay. Now, you might prefer to have moving averages on this. I took the moving averages off when we were in consolidation. So when we were in consolidation here, I was setting up your trades. Right? I was showing you how to trade plan. And when you're moving sideways, there's no market, so you don't need a 21.55. But now we're trending, so you could add those back. Oops. Wrong one. That is not it. Okay. So what does your trade plan look like? Yeah, basically the same thing. Either way. Higher would be better. Okay. Oops. Other things, what do you you know, like let's do this quick. I like to start with resistance, right? And then I will look at like pivots and swings. And then I'll look at moving averages. I'll put it in here. So here's the key moving average. Oops, the key moving average in control is right here. So, and then I can draw the 55 in there as well. So what will it look like in the future? Well, I'd like to catch it up here. Something like that, probably. Remember, boil everything down to simplicity. Craig says, well, what if you're still a bear? Sell it high. What if it doesn't go high? Don't sell it. Easy enough, right? Do you just sell it because it's going up? No, you sell it high at resistance. So where's resistance? Well, we got 3 reasons here that this is resistance, and 2 reasons here that that's resistance, these prices. So yeah, higher. This would be great. Somewhere in there. Ideally higher. The higher the better, but it's not just because it's going up. It's because it's going the wrong way, and it's going to slam into resistance. And because it's resistance, there's going to be a ton of sell orders. And there's probably going to, whoever's scalping it long has profit orders. And the whole thing will go, zero. Yeah. And if it doesn't matter because you're not on it. Cool. Right? How long is this going to stay in a range? Forever. I've been telling you that since May 1st. It's now June 4th. We spent the whole month in that range. Told you! Ha ha! Wow, huh? Crazy! Crazy. Holy smokes. Okay. Once again, it doesn't make this a bullish move, but that's the bullish price for a bullish move. Right? But you have to recognize that this is not a bullish market. That just happens to be a bullish price. Maybe meaningless. This is also on a weekly basis a bullish price. Once again, probably meaningless information, but information nonetheless. Okay. So if someone happened to be a bull, you're going to need to reverse this market. So it's going to take a lot. And then you see all this stuff. You're going to get slammed in here. Okay. So none of this means it's going to happen. In fact, odds are it won't happen. But if you're a bull, you still have to put together bullish trade plans, right? So you're like, okay, I got my price. So we'll mark that price with an orange line. Okay, good. Let's drop into a 15 now. There's your price. Sweet. What are you going to do about it? Actually, that's the price down there. So what are you going to do about it, huh? Well, once you get a higher high, you can start buying dips on the smaller time frame. Okay. When you get to about here, the market's going to collapse on you. So you should be ready for that. That's why I drew the double bottom before the higher high, because that's going to happen. Okay. How long did it take, Oscar? I really don't know. I think I traded on a demo account for more than 2 years. But I mean, like, seriously traded, not played around and threw some trades in. No, I was a serious student of the market for 2 hardcore years. Right. But that's kind of, I'm a hardcore person, I think. My first job out of high school was NASA. So I worked at NASA because I wanted to be an astronaut. Then I found out I was diabetic, so that ain't going to happen. But at least I was Top Gun qualified with experience at working at NASA for 2 summers. Cool. Then I said, oh, I guess I'll be a businessman. So about 3 years later, I ran an organization of 3,000 people. Cool. You know, like, I'm pretty hardcore. So when I say, you know, I worked on a demo for 2 years, yeah, I worked hard for 2 years. But that didn't mean I mastered it for sure. But at that point, I was a venture capitalist. They had just promoted me to vice president. We had about 300 employees. And I quit because I was making more money as a Forex trader than I was as a venture capitalist. Excuse me. So I gave up my health benefits and retirement plan. But before you give that up, you better make sure you're making a good decision, right? That's all I'm saying. All right, so anyways, oh, look, we hit our 1382. Nice, look at that. Pachow, snap. Oh, look at it bounce off the target. Look at that, hit the target and stopped. Cool. Look at that, within, it only spent 1 minute below my target and then immediately bullish engulfing candle. Wow, huh? Yeah, I love scalping. Scalping's cool, man. So remember, the whole point, the whole topic of conversation here was selling off of this resistance, right? And you know what? Let me just redraw the whole thing. Okay, the whole point here is this confluence of weekly and monthly, right? That's the whole point. Big drop, big retracement. We expected it. Again, that's the point I'm trying to make. We expected it to reverse here. Okay. Cool. And it makes a lower low. So now you expect the lower high. And you say, well, I wonder where resistance is. Well, resistance is here and here. So one of them, it's going to reverse. Which one? We don't know. So when it gets here and it goes, lower low, what do? Now it's child's play. You go ape crazy, spider monkey on Mountain Dew kind of stuff. And it's, you know, down, down, down. That's the trigger, the aha moment. Let me make this thinner. Okay. So up, up, sell, down, 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 up, sell, down, 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 right? You just go ape crazy. Ape crazy. Scope, 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 scope. And this is a 1 minute chart. So very often when I do that, I'll do like 15, 30 OCOs. Could even be, if I've gone through a rough period and I'm trying to rebuild sort of tactical confidence, I'll just even do 10 times. I don't want to look at Euro ZAR today because of the GDP out of South Africa, so I'm out of that. Right. Well, Oscar says it'd be great to see you trading Forex from space or the moon. One of my sort of interesting moments in life, I was made captain of a crew at NASA, and our task was to dock the space shuttle at the International Space Station in simulation. And they made me captain. Now, the interesting thing is the captain can't actually see out a window. There's almost no windows in that old space shuttle. There's almost no windows. So you do everything, like I think 2 out of the 7 have a window. And they're small windows. You're like, okay, I can see it. But you're drifting in 4 dimensions, right? The most complicated thing I've ever done. So we crashed it 6 or 7 times in a row. We crashed it into the ISS, and but like the 7th time, woohoo, we were successful. But was I trading Forex at the same time? They didn't even have cell phones at that period. But the other interesting story of that period at NASA. One day I was eating lunch. Usually I ate lunch out on the tarmac, and I'd watch U2s land and watch them test helicopters. I've seen some pretty amazing things. Russian planes delivering antenna stations and stuff. But one day I decided to walk around the hallways. I came to a door and I could hear some funny sounds, so I opened the door. And you walk in, and it was the size of an airplane hangar, like basically an indoor soccer field. That's how big this thing is. And there's this huge mound of like red clay and sand and all this, and these big robots running around like doing stuff. And way in the far corner, I could see a human being sitting with his back turned to the robots. And he's sitting at a computer doing something. So I walk over there. I said, "Hey, what's up, man? What are you doing?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're going to send these things to Mars." He said, "The problem is if you tell the robot to go forward, it takes 12 hours to get the message and it starts moving. And then you tell it to stop, it takes 12 hours to get that message, but by then it's already fallen off the cliff. So we need them to think themselves." And yeah, these are those rovers that they sent, right? I saw them in 1991, I think I worked at NASA. Just really amazing. So they had to think for themselves. Max says, why no ZAR? Well, first of all, one of the major reasons to buy ZAR is, so I'll do it if you want it. One reason to trade the ZAR, and someone has Euro ZAR. I was on Euro ZAR, I'm no longer, but we'll bring it up. One reason, I could probably have it in exotics, to trade ZAR is to collect the interest, but South Africa can't seem to produce any level of GDP, right? So here we go. So South Africa came out with like negative GDP. Like, what the heck, South Africa? Come on. How could you have negative productivity? Think of it as a country. How could you possibly have negative productivity? Would you tear down some buildings? Like did Not only, like, I understand, like, zero. If nobody went to work for 3 months, right? But to have negative, you're like, you have to really try. So that's all I'm saying. I'm like, I'm very disappointed in South Africa. Come on. But with that, the only reason I care about, like, this pair is to buy ZAR to earn interest. Well, why would I want to buy ZAR in a situation like this? That's what I'm saying. So when someone said, hey, can you show me the Euro ZAR? I'm like, well, why would I don't want to buy Euro. Why would I, you know what I mean? Like, why would I buy Euro? I'm not interested in Euro. Oh, well, I'll buy Rand, but I'm not going to sell Rand. Why would I play with Rand? There's so many better things to do. Now, I know a lot of our followers are South African, so that's interesting to South Africans, but nobody else cares. I like to earn the yield on the ZAR. If no one else in the world will lend South Africa money, I'm happy to do it. I'm just going to charge crazy interest rates. But right now, the world is scratching their head like, hey, man, if I lend South Africa money, I'm not going to get paid back. Okay, you see what I mean? So I need to wait for things to change. Now, okay, oops. I need to wait for things to change. Gee whiz. Delete, close. Okay, I need to wait for things to change before I get re-involved. So I think you might remember I had like a bunch of trades on this a couple of weeks ago, right? I think I sold here and here and here and here and here. I had a bunch of trades on this, right? And now it's doing this. Well, I'm not in those trades anymore. Why would I do that, right? So, like, I'm not doing this to diss my, South African brothers and sisters. I love South Africa, but I'm not buying Rand. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Lira's better though. Baby Doll says the swap's great on this, right? So if I go over here, this one's better. Okay, and look at this. Why would I buy Rand when I'm getting just paid? I'm making like 500 pips a day on this one, plus something like 1,000% return on investment. So, like, go ahead, play around with your Euro Rand. Look at me, I'm killing it on Lira. So, that's why I said why do Euro Rand? Makes no sense. Greg says, good time to travel to South Africa? Well, don't worry. The South African Rand is almost always weak. And I told the story several times, but I'll tell it again because it was funny. I'm standing in line in Johannesburg to check into my hotel, and there's a couple of dudes, a dude and his buddy. The dude's checking into his hotel room, and his buddy's just playing on his phone, doing something. And finally, the hotel person says, he gets the price in Rand, right? And the other guy laughs, and he said something like, it's only Rand, right? It's only Rand. Don't worry about it. It's only Rand. And they, like, literally just two random South Africans were just laughing at their own currency. So it was just he just laughed. He just like, don't worry about it. But there was a period where the Rand did appreciate a lot on gold and stuff like that. But South Africans made the most money when the Rand was weak. And the reason for that is one of the major exports of South Africa is gold. But gold gets sold for dollars, not Rand. So the best scenario possible if you own a gold mine is to have a really cheap Rand because you're going to pay all your employees with Rand. You're like, here you go. Have some Rand. Thank you for all your hard work. But they keep all the rest for themselves. So one example was after the financial crisis, there was a time when gold dropped by something like 30%, but Rand dropped by like 50%. So even though gold had dropped by 30%, South African gold mines were more profitable than ever. They were drowning in dollars and paying all their employees with Rand, and you can almost see it. You can almost see them like standing on the balcony throwing Rand out into the wind. There you go. Thanks. They made more money when gold dropped by 30%. They made more money. Isn't that funny? So let me go back. Somebody asked for me to cover Euro ZAR, and I'm like, no. And I just move on. And then like, come on, man, you know, that's not fair. I'm from South Africa, and you have a lot of South African fans. Okay, great. So I did it, but I hope you see the point. The reason, first of all, I already knew, which I guess is part of the lesson. But I would only trade it for the yield. I'm not local, so I don't need to hedge it. So then the only reason I would buy Rand is because I'm going to charge them ridiculous prices for them to borrow money. For them, I mean the government. Okay? But if it's falling, I don't want it. I put stops, which means if Rand falls, I'm out. But if it's appreciating, I'm going to collect the yield and I'll make the investment into South Africa. But the reason you put a stop loss there, if there's any sign of doubt, you get out. Okay. Baby dolls is short as positives. Yes. When you buy Rand, you get paid. It's not even buying. So the way I look at it is it's lending the country money. Very often I think of myself a bond trader. Okay? So if I go back to the high yield thing. Okay. I'm lending Turkey euro. That's how I look at that, okay? And because I'm such a kind person, because Turkey really needs the cash, I'm a very, very kind person. So I will, I'm only charging them 1,780% per year. Plus, I'm up about like, I don't know, 1,000 pips or more. 500 pips, sorry. 500 pips. I'm up 500 pips profit, and I'm charging them 1,800 a year. But that's only because I'm a nice guy. Normally, I would charge 2,000%, but that would be ridiculous. So because I'm such a nice guy, only 1,800%. Now, the interesting thing about being an international financier, wouldn't that be cool? When you're at a cocktail party, someone says, so what do you do? You're like, well, I'm an international financier. I'm an amateur international financier. Right? I lend distressed governments currency, hard currency. Doesn't that sound great? I got to use that one. I lend distressed countries hard currency at exorbitant rates, right? Now remember, the reason I'm not actually charging South Africa 1,800, I'm charging them 180%, but I'm leveraged 100 to 1. You see what I mean? But isn't it interesting to think of it as being a financier? Now, if I bought a bond, the bond locks in an interest rate forever. Okay? But because I'm lending cash, if South Africa, or in this case Turkey, if Turkey raises interest rates, which I think they have, because that 1800 seems higher than it was before. If they raise interest rates, I immediately get an increase in my investment. I get paid more. Isn't that nice? Plus, on top of that, you can see I'm crushing it on Turkish lira. So I'm up like 500 pips per trade. Plus, I'm earning the leverage cash, right? So 1,800% interest is what I'm being paid as far as income on my loan to Turkey, because Turkey wanted to borrow euro from me. So I went to my bank and said, hey, I have cash in my bank, but they're dollars, it's fine. I want to borrow a bunch of euro, okay, at 100 to 1. So now I own this euro, and then I lend the euro to Turkey. That's what's going on. So really, I'm an international financier. I'm lending hard euro, cash, to Turkey because they're desperate for it. And that's why I'm earning 180%. But I'm leveraged 100 to 1, right? So therefore, I'm earning 1,800% on the money I actually ponied up. The US dollar currency that I needed to get the euro currency, right? So on that cash that I used as collateral, I'm earning 1,800% a year, which is pretty nice, right? Plus now I'm up 500 pips per investment. So very nice. That's really how big institutions work. That's how big institutions play the game. Because imagine you got, let's say you had $1 billion, even, right? I know people have traded much more than $1 billion in their foreign exchange account. But anyways, like I know someone that moved, I think it was 650 million euro to FXCM in London. And I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Like that. That's a lot for your MT4 account. Anyways, imagine you have really big money. You can't piss around with your 15-minute scalp trades, right? Just think of it. You can, especially if you're still leveraging, right? So now you have $100 billion in your account. Like, oh my God, what are you going to drop? 1,000 pips on a scalp, or 1,000 pips, 1,000 lots on a scalp or something? Like you'd be trading bigs. Like a small trade would be 100 million, right? Because you'd only need $1 million to do it, but you have $1 billion. So like $1 million trade, like all of a sudden the numbers get really weird, and things tend to break down because it's either not worth your time or it's too much risk and you get caught, right? So you want to get these bigger sort of institutional moves, right? So Turkey comes along and says, hey, we'd like to borrow a lot of money from you. We will pay you 1,800% plus pips if you lend us currency. All of a sudden you're like, hell yeah, because now when you make that decision, and by the way, this is what I've been coaching you to do forever and ever and ever and ever. Ever and ever and ever and ever. But let's go back yet again to that trade. Okay, this one. So now you know all you want to do. The only thing you're interested in is to lend Turkey money at crazy, ridiculous, exorbitant prices. You're going to be a pawnbroker. You're going to be like mafia. You're like, yeah, I'm going to charge you 180% a year. Oh, that sounds fair. That sounds fair. But whatever. Okay. whatever, because you can be leveraged 10 to 1, 100 to 1, just 1 to 1, you're earning 18% a year. 18% a year is a pretty good year for most hedge funds, don't you think? So you add a little bit of leverage, 5 to 1, you're making, or let's say 6 to 1, you're making over 100% a year with 6 to 1 leverage, not 50 to 1, not 100 to 1, not 1,000 to 1, right? So like 100% a year is pretty good. But that, I'm only talking income now. Only income. That's just the interest payments guaranteed from the government, right? So when you make a decision, that's essentially a strategy. What's your strategy? I'm going to lend Turkey some euro, and I'm going to charge them ridiculous amounts. Cool. But now your strategy is set in place. What are you doing? You're looking to sell. I might sell here. You 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 might sell here, 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 and if it goes back up, you might sell here, and there, and there, and there. But are you bumbling around with nerves, like, what am I going to do today? I don't know what I'm going to do today. What am I going to do next week? What am I going to do in the next hour? What if it goes up? What if it goes down? I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You're like, oh my God. Would you just come up with a strategy? Okay. Because anytime it pulls back, it's an opportunity to maybe sell. So you start doing things like, where's resistance, right? Oh, where's resistance, right? Oh, where's resistance, right? Where's resistance? There's another one here. Where's support? Well, that'll be interesting. Right? And you just over and over and over again. Plus you have your price action stuff. Okay, we're on a 4 hour. This is Euro, Turkish lira. Okay, but all these on a smaller time frame, imagine on an hour. Down, 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 up, up, sell. Right? Right? Up, up, sell. Right? Down, 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 up, sell. Down, 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 up, sell. These are like 16-hour periods, guys. This is like once a day. Up, sell. Right? Down, 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 up, sell. You'll notice they're just basically day trades over and over and over again. And you could just do it over and over. Sell there, the next day, sell there. Sell the next day here, sell the next day here. No lower low. You should probably hold up, probably move some stops. Now it makes a higher high, wipes out this one, this one, this one, this one. But you still got paid. And then you rebuild it again and again and again. What if it never comes back up here? Well, then you'd have this one and 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 this one forever. And you'll just sit on it and you'll get paid 7 days a week. And if you catch a trend, you'll get paid lots and lots of pips on top of your, if you're 100 to 1, 1,800% a year. If you're 10 to 1, 180% a year. If you have no leverage whatsoever at all, you're going to earn 18% in income plus all the pips. So it's pretty good, right? So imagine now you got $1 billion and you know the only thing you want to do all day, every day, 24 hours a day, on weekends. The reason you're kind of playing around with your nerves and your fingers and your sweat and bullets is you're like, I hope I don't get knocked out on my lira trades, and I hope I get new opportunities to sell it again. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. You wake up in the morning and I'm like, I want to sell euro lira. Oh my God. Whew. It's only Saturday, right? I mean, I've had panic attacks, not panic attacks. I've woken up like, I gotta sell it. Oh my God, it's Saturday. You should be dreaming of it. Versus the amateur doesn't know what they're doing. They're like, I wonder what I'm going to do today. It's so exciting. Okay? And all of a sudden you catch it and off you go. Now imagine you put 10 million here, 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 and you're earning all those pips. Now notice 10 million if you have $1 billion is nothing, right? But it'll start to add up if you catch a trend. If you run out of trend, you get knocked out of break even a lot. but you're still getting paid. It's still a loan. And you're trying to put yourself in situations where you don't lose any money. See here, I can't lose money, can't lose money. And if you were really like this is my, this is a real live account, but this isn't my account. I could be adding here and here and here and here because these are daily, right? Okay, look at sell. I can do some. Let me do it this way. Let's do 20. There's 1 month's worth of trading, right? And all I want to do is sell. I know that. It's called a strategy, by the way, if you wanted an English word for it. Okay. Oh, sell? No. That's sort of a counter. You can sell here on the counter. You can sell there. You can sell there. Nope. Nope. You could sell there. Nope. And then we got knocked out a whole bunch. You can sell there. 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 Every day. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even 6 days in a row. If you're day trading, just straightforward, absolutely perfect, no problems, no complications whatsoever, selling opportunities, especially if you already knew that that's what you wanted to do. But I tell you 1,000 times, this is the thing that's holding you back from unbelievable amount of success. When you wake up in the morning, you don't know what you want to do. If you woke up in the morning and said, well, my strategy today is to sell euro, Turkish lira. You opened up your chart and you saw the most basic sell opportunity that there is in the textbook. Sell it in the sell zone. Then, boom, you sell it and you're like, boom, that's 6 days in a row. Boom! And that's what it feels like. You're, oh my God, you're high-fiving everybody. Dude, I've sold the Turkish lira 6 days in a row at the central pivot point. Really? But that's basic. That's not the complication, right? Well, no. James is bringing up another good point. Let me try to go back. Right. James been around, by the way. James been around a long time. Yeah, he's right on the longer time frame, but I did have it planned out. Where do we go from here? Oh, I know, because I'm not on the template. All right. And that's not going to work either. Let's do this. Okay. All right, so it's been up. Okay, I've been waiting for it a very long time. Since February, right? Not bearish. March, not bearish. April, not bearish. Okay. But up in here, there was a changing of the guard. Now, we got to be careful. There's a bit of a buy zone in here now, right? I could start taking profit, actually. But what the basis of the beginning of this trade, first of all, I want to catch high yield. Second of all, we're going into summer, so I think euro's going to cool off, okay? There were two zones that I was most interested in on this time frame. Okay, that was between the R1 and M4. Does anybody also notice what my exact entry is? On the first trade? So first of all, like I have to remind you, somewhere in here, I'm looking for the sell. So where did I actually sell? The exact pivot? No, I went a little higher than that exact pivot. What was it? 7.0000000. So should I watch, if my trade plan was somewhere in here, I should look if I was going to be a bear. Okay, and I think somewhere between here maybe would reverse. In fact, higher up would be better, right? This pink box is really where I want it. But then I look a little closer and I say, aha, there's also a psychological level. So let me mark that. Oops, come on. Let me mark that. Okay. So now I can bring it in a little bit and say somewhere in this zone here is going to be the most ideal area for me to sell. So I need to look now for some sort of change of trend. Okay. This means I had to think about it weeks in advance, by the way. Okay. Weeks in advance. So Jimmy's right. It's not just like, oh, this is easy peasy. I had to wait months, in fact. But I also had ZAR. I did buy a lot of ZAR like a month and a half ago. So I was watching Try. I was looking at ZAR. I was keeping my eye on Euro specifically because of the lack of interest rates. So I can borrow Euro for free, right? I can get paid to borrow Swiss franc. So I'm watching this and I'm watching this, but my best high yields are this and this. So therefore, I create trade plans. Therefore, I create trade plans. You see that? So I got to watch Euro ZAR. I got to watch Euro Rand, or Euro Rand, Euro Lira. I got to watch any combination I can. And then look for resistance, look for pivot points, look for psych levels, all that kind of stuff. Because look how far down. Let me show you the importance. Let me show you where 6 is. There's 6. So it took almost since the beginning of 2019. Here's the first of the year, right? I had to wait from the first of the year to basically the middle of May to go from 6.0 to 7.0. So do you think 7.0 might be an important psychological level? Yeah, well, it might be. I don't know, but it might be. And I already know this is a sell zone too. And this is really an R1. And sometimes R1's on the, and then you throw in the psych level. This whole area is, if it's going to drop, it's going to drop there. If it doesn't drop there, well, it ain't going to drop. Do you kind of see the logic there? Like, that's so good that if it doesn't drop, it ain't going to drop. See it, Pete? Okay. I don't think I can get in there now to get closer to the trade. Okay. I don't think I'll be able to get back there. It's too far back. It's one weakness of MT4, faux show. I think it was the Dealbook 360. You could just highlight an area that you wanted to zoom in on, and it would zoom in on that area. But I don't think we're going to be able to go back. But anyways, I had a plan, and I traded my plan. That's all. Nothing complicated whatsoever. But what the other thing I'm trying to share is that if you had a strategy and a plan, and you stuck to it, especially if you're trading like an institutional investor, you would have 20 trades on that. Now, 6 or 7 might have been knocked out at break even. No, don't worry about it. You got paid 180% per year per day on that, whatever that is. I'll take 180% divided by 365. You get paid that every day. So you made a few pips, not that, right? But then you get the other ones, and what you're trying to do is build positions. Okay. Okay. So anyways, I've gone on too long today. I apologize. I really do. But thank you for being on my team. And hey, would you give me that thumbs up thing? It's important to YouTube. Okay. So you can go out and share this video with your friends. But the other easy thing you can do is just say, YouTube, there's 28 million videos about Forex. Most of them suck, but this is a good one. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just let YouTube know that this is helpful. Okay? I'm not asking you to get rich quick. I'm not trying to give you the secret inside information on how to get rich quick. This is how you trade. This is how you're supposed to trade. This is how professionals trade. I'm trying to give you big picture knowledge. No, I didn't throw you into a specific trade today. That wasn't my intent. Okay? I'm not trying to get you into a trade today. Because if you didn't plan your trade if you didn't plan today, yesterday, you've already lost. So you need to look at your charts for tomorrow and Thursday. I'm already thinking next week. Okay? That's what you need to be doing. And that's what I try to share with you. Strategy on the 4-hour and drilling down for a 15-minute chart. But if you start on the 15-minute chart, you've already lost. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will. Okay? So anyways, thank you for being a part of our community at the Forex.Today YouTube channel. Thank you for being a client of Trader's Way. If you haven't done so, open an account at Trader's Way. Also, download MT4 from Trader's Way. Come back here, download my chart templates for free, and install them, and you'll have the same tools that I have. And then also, if you haven't figured it out, there's like 4,000 videos on YouTube. Watch the one on how to trade the Mexican peso and why it works, and you'll see why this month is different from most months, and why this month is a mediocre one, but maybe next month won't be. So, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Cheers.